Rock City Network's Fast Louder coming to you from the One Movement Festival in Perth for 2010, and joining me is Tania Bowers, aka Via Tanya. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You're nice and rugged up there. Is that a coffee?
It's a tea.
It's a tea? It's a bit cold here today. This is not Perth. I feel like I'm in Melbourne.
I know, my idea of Perth is, I was like, you guys, when we get there, it's going to be sunny, and because Sydney's been like this this week. So the other guys in the band are from Chicago, so I was like, you wait till you get there. It's going to be all sunny.
Yeah, no,
totally
it's well, it has been for the last 4 days. I'm sorry to disappoint you on that.
Yeah, it's a disappointment.
Maybe it's a bit windy, so maybe it'll just blow over. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of your band being from Chicago, let's talk about a little bit about the history of your career to up to this point.
Sure.
Because there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
You're Australian born, and then you based yourself in Chicago as a musician. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now take us through that process.
I moved when first time I moved I was 22, and I didn't know I was moving. I just thought I was going to hang out, and I loved Chicago and mostly the music community. So I got a fun job, and I just kind of stuck around, and then all these years pass, and I'm there. It's been 11 years now, and this rendition of this band is it's the first time it's actually been a Via Tanya band. Before that, I'd get people to play with me from other bands, and it was always moving, and it's always going to move around a little bit, but this is like a really solid Via Tanya sound. It's not just me playing and then my friends sitting in and playing along. Yeah. Now
the EPs have been released in different areas, and Fields is out now, and you've got Moon Sweet Moon released in the US after Australia.
Right, different artwork.
There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on there.
Song
Can you sort of explain how that's all come about?
I feel like it's come about just through a really long course of each time it evolved a little bit more. So when it first got released here, I'd finished it. It took me a long time to finish that record because I was moving around a lot, and so it got released in Australia, and I was able to play some shows, and it seemed like a good idea at the time because I was like, well, it's released here now, I'll concentrate on here. When it gets released in the States, I'll concentrate on the States. So it kind of did work out like that. It's just the label in the States wanted to kind of have more of their stamp on it a little bit more. So we changed some stuff around and worked on the songs. Titles, added a new song, changed the artwork, and just so it felt, and it was a couple of years later, so it felt like a new thing.
So you kind of just sort of tweaking what you'd already had there from the Australian release.
Yeah.
As I understand, it was Australia first, then America.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was for Moon Sweet Moon?
That was for Moon Sweet Moon. Yeah.
Now, the extra track you added on the US release, was that going to be for maybe a new album, or was that just something you had sitting there?
It started out as wanting to start a new record, and so we recorded a few songs. And of course, it was right at the time when the label we're talking about, I played it to them, like, we've got to have this on this record. Yeah. So it ended up going on that record. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'll write another song. So now we're going to start recording the new record next month. We've got enough songs, so it's fine.
Now, we look at how will it work this time for the next release? Will it be a US release first and then to Australia, or will you do it simultaneously?
It will be whoever wants to release it. Whoever comes first gets it first, basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's all very natural, and it just happens. It just unfolds in this whatever way, and I'm totally cool with it. So.
That's a good vibe to have. I like it.
You can't make yourself crazy, because it's kind of up to other people. The ball's in their court. They decide. In the past, I've released things myself, but I don't want to do that anymore. I'm like, okay, I know what that's about. Do not want to do that.
Yeah.
Just what's involved with that side, all the business side of things. I can't put my time into that. So So yeah, it's in their court, so I can't like worry about it and fret about like waiting for calls back or whatever. I just like do my thing, and if something comes, then I'll take them up on it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So how is it playing with? So is the lineup now solid that you're playing with? Yeah. It's not like artists coming in and out sort of to play on the lineup with you?
It's pretty solid. Yeah. So it'll be the first record where I've actually had a band before we recorded.
Yeah. Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does that translate into the process of writing music and sort of getting new material out there with a solid lineup? Does that change the whole dynamic of what you're doing when you have people there on a regular basis?
Yeah, it changes the dynamic. It actually makes it, you're more focused because you know what everybody can do, and you have a certain way of working together with the same people. Yeah. But the guys that I have are super creative and like very, like, they are like trained musicians, but they're very open to, working in all sorts of fields. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's
going to be interesting. Have you? Obviously, you're not the type of person I would imagine that's going to put a limit on or a time as to when the album comes out. But is there a ballpark figure as to when we might hear the next one?
I know that we want to make it much, much, much quicker than. Yeah. So I'm hoping for it to be finished by the end of the year. Actually, okay. That's our part. Then there's a whole other bunch of things that have to go on before it gets released, and that's the part that I have no control over. Sure. I'm hoping in the first half of next year. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been interesting having a chat to you, and there's actually one more thing I wanted to talk to you about, and I kind of found it in the middle of research. Did you play guitar with Sally Seltmann in a band?
We did a couple different things together. Back in the day, when I was in a band with my sister called Speedrock, Sally sat in with our band for, I think it was just like a tour or a little bit when we lost one of our guitarists.
Right, so it was your band?
It was,
right.
Yeah, it was
okay,
Speedrock.
Yeah, cool.
And then at another point, it was a really long time ago, we went to Japan with Ben Lee, and Sally played keyboards and I played bass. Right. So we were like in Ben's band. Yeah. I think it was 97. So, but yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's playing today, right?
Yeah, she's back there.
Yeah, you had a chat already?
We played in Sydney a couple nights ago, and we borrowed a kit, and it didn't have hi-hats or cymbals, so I called her. I was like, Sally, we need hi-hats and cymbals. So she brought them, and
great.
Yeah, so we keep in touch.
Cool. Well, I'm having a chat to her later, so,
okay.
Is there anything we can, is there any message you'd like me to pass on? Because it's always good to do this between interviews.
Let me think. Oh my God.
Something that's just going to make you go, how the hell did you know that?
Oh, like a little secret.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that.
Oh my God.
Actually, you know what? Best you tell me off camera, so there's no proof.
Right. Okay.
And then I'll pop it on her in the interview. How's that sound?
Sounds great. And then it gives me more time to think.
Yeah.
Something really good.
And it also gives you a lot of time to get on the other side of the festival grounds.
right.
You'll never be borrowing cymbals again.
Yeah.
All right, Tania. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Rock City Networks and Faster Louder. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And have fun today.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can catch up with you again soon somewhere down the track. Good luck for the next album.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
If you want any more information, you can go to allthews.myspace.com/via Tania. Is there a .com as well? Or are we just going on the MySpace?
It's via Tania.com.
And a via Tania.com. There you go. It's Tania Bowers, aka Via Tania, from the One Movement Festival in Perth for Rock City Networks and Fast Louder.